Once upon a time, there was a 5-year-old Roman boy named Olivus. Olivus was afraid of storms at night. When the thunder woke him and the lightning flared, he cried out to his father, Noah Tallus. Noah would come into Olivus's room and hold him and comfort him and tell him it's all going to be fine. In Noah Tallus's embrace, Olivus felt comforted. Surely Father knew everything, and since Father had told him it would all be all right, Olivus always relaxed and fell asleep again. Then Noah Tallus would go back to his own room and worry about what damage the storm might do, because he really did not know it would all be fine. He just said that to keep his son from worrying about the unknown, just as his father had done for him and his grandfather had done for his father. Although certainty is an illusion, it's comforting to believe in illusory certainties. Once upon a more recent time, there was a group of people who gathered under a flag and complained that because everything was so uncertain, nothing at all could be done. When confronted with scientific data requiring action, they wailed, "Uncertainty, uncertainty," and did nothing. A presidential candidate claimed, "Uncertainty is killing this economy," as if lack of certainty were a monster ravaging and killing the innocents. Have you ever lied to yourself about certainty? I'm sure it'll get done on time. I will never change my faith in Zeus. I'm absolutely certain I'm right. Of course we'll win. We can't seem to help ourselves. We love to lie to ourselves about certainty because uncertainty makes us nervous. Uncertainty is scary. Uncertainty is to be avoided because it isn't predictable. And we want to know. When we think we know, we feel less out of control in an impersonal and unpredictable universe. But thoughtful adults know that nothing is 100% certain. 2,000 years ago, Pliny the Elder noted the only certainty is that nothing is certain, yet still we yearn for certainty. We work to avoid uncertainty. We treat uncertainty as if it were a floor of hot lava, and we jump like children from chair to table to avoid getting burned. We love to fool ourselves into thinking we can have perfect certainty. We, all of us, like the boy in the story, want someone or something to comfort us and tell us it'll all be all right, even if that's a lie. I suggest we stop fighting uncertainty. I suggest we not only embrace chaos and dance with uncertainty, but revel in them, dance with them. I suggest that embracing chaos and dancing with uncertainty are keys to living life with gusto and meaning. Science has tools for dealing with uncertainty. In science, uncertainty is merely the territory between current knowledge and the unknown. It's not a fearful thing. It's merely a fact about the state of our understanding of the universe. There's always some degree of uncertainty to be acknowledged and accepted as we unravel the knotted mysteries of reality. Chaos theory is one of the tools of science. Chaos theory is about complex systems that appear to be random, but are actually deterministic. It involves systems of nonlinear differential equations so complex they cannot even be addressed before the computer age. Chaos theory says great change is caused by a small initial difference. Although the mathematics is far beyond me, the concept of chaos is illustrated in the so-called butterfly effect. The idea that a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil can cause a tornado in Texas. One small action affects something, that affects something else, that affects yet another something. A simple beginning, but so complex down the line that the result of the ever-widening ripples of cause and effect cannot be accurately predicted. An example of a chaotic system is the weather. Although weekly weather patterns are determined by natural laws and thus are not random, a given beginning state is impossible to capture perfectly. So the outcome cannot be accurately predicted by our models. When my elder daughter Rachel was about 4 years old, she sympathetically listened to me complain at the dinner table about the fact that since the weather forecasters had called for warm weather, I had dressed accordingly that day and had frozen my butt off. Dad, Rachel patiently explained to me, they're weathermen. They just make it up. Although it sometimes seems as if the local weather folks are just making it up. The truth is, specific reality is too complex to model accurately beyond a short time frame. One of the people who quantified this was Werner Heisenberg. Heisenberg, famous for the eponymous Heisenberg uncertainty principle, noticed that in quantum mechanics, one could either know the location of a particle or its momentum, but not both. Heisenberg's friend and colleague in quantum mechanics, Erwin Schrödinger, devised a thought experiment involving a cat in a box with a Geiger counter, something radioactive, and a poisonous gas in a bottle. The bottle will break open if the Geiger counter detects a radioactive alpha particle, and the chances of this happening are about 50-50. So at any given time, there's no way of knowing if the cat is still alive or dead inside the box. Some have even suggested the cat is both alive and dead at the same time. Quantum uncertainty. The only way to tell for sure is to open the box and observe. So, Heisenberg and Schrödinger are speeding down the highway one day when a cop pulls them over. "Do you know how fast you were going?" exclaims the cop. "No," says Heisenberg, "but we know exactly where we are." "You were going 108 miles an hour, says the cop. "Oh, great," says Heisenberg, "now we're lost." The cop walks back to the back of the car and lifts the trunk. "Hey," he says, "did you know you got a dead cat back here?" Schrödinger angrily replies, "Well, we do now." The scientific method works to reduce uncertainty by testing hypotheses. It tests them, trying to prove them wrong. If it can't, it continues testing in different ways, different places, with different people, always trying to prove the hypothesis wrong. This is exactly the opposite of what most of us try to do in our daily lives. We like to be right. We like to be certain. We like to prove our ideas correct. In science, though, one can never prove an hypothesis correct. One can never prove a theory valid. Testing merely supports or disproves an hypothesis or theory. There's always a possibility that what has up to now been supported will be disproved tomorrow. Therefore, few scientists will claim to absolutely know much of anything. They always speak in terms of degrees of certainty. They might say, "We understand this to be true with a 95% degree of certainty." This means that fact will generally be accepted as true, even though there's still about a 5% chance it could be wrong. So, although science works to reduce uncertainty, it also acknowledges and quantifies uncertainty as part of the process of understanding. Another powerful tool of science is measurement. However, all measurement is approximation. Say it again. All measurement is approximation. Even if you read the meter stick as accurately as possible, even if you have a miniature meter stick down at the quantum level, the measurements will always be off by some unknown factor. And even if by chance they happen to be exactly, precisely on, you will have no way of knowing that. For most day-to-day applications, our imprecise measurements are close enough. Close enough, however, is not exact. Science is always uncertain to some degree. And although this fact really bothers absolutists, it truly is a feature, not a bug. Uncertainty, as Feynman noted, leaves the door ajar for progress. A required certainty is a heavy burden to maintain, especially when things are proven not certain after all. Religion, at least the fundamentalist literalist arm of religion, has had to retreat from its certainty little by little as it is proven wrong. Certainty is not a strength when it is inflexible regarding reality. The earth we now know is not the center of the universe, as previously taught and defended to the death by religion. It is not demons that cause epilepsy. Thor does not hurl his hammer at enemies. Much of what religion has claimed to know is either not actually knowable or has been proven false. Not everything is as you may have been taught. Not everything is as it appears. We must figure out our degree of certainty. To help us in our calculus of certainty, I propose a symbol for generic uncertainty. Say the letter U. Or, even better, UU. The UU is when the DJ unexpectedly plays the absolute best song ever. Or the UU is the symbol of your dance partner. Or the light suddenly going black in the middle of the party. Or the UU could be my dance partner herself, sometimes gliding sensually, sometimes stabbing my back during the promenade. But, uncertainly or not, the dance goes on. We make adjustments. Accommodating my partner is part of the art and skill and fun of the dance. Another of the tools of science is observation. We trust our senses. Scientists gather information through the senses and use logic to make sense of it. Do you trust your senses? Are you certain? Watch this animation for a bit. It's coming. Are you certain? This animation of a flying arrow.
I'll try to put it again.
Dang, touchpads.
No, this is not coming up on the one. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Dance with uncertainty.
We'll let the dancer that turns, except she suddenly turns the other way in your mind, we'll just imagine her. And we'll go on to the next one. Go on to the next one. I'm uncertain if this is going to happen.
Okay, now it's this one. It's Internet Explorer, that's why.
We can just go to the next one.
I'd try. There we go.
All right. Yay, thank you. Is this an animation? Or is the movement you see with your own eyes only within your own eyes and brain? And the answer is, it is a still. but it looks shimmery because of the way your eyes and brain work together. Look at the plus sign in the middle of this animation. What colors do you see?
Green, violet, and gray.
Is something moving?
Green,
What color is the moving dot?
green.
There is no green dot. It is merely the pink dots blinking out sequentially, and your brain supplies a green dot that moves around. And if you look at it long enough, sometimes the pink ones disappear if you're looking right at the plus sign in the middle. These are illusions. Absolute certainty, too, is an illusion. Most of our assumed knowledge lives in the close enough range with the degree of uncertainty small enough not to bother with. But the fact remains, we must wrestle with the unknown. We can't know everything. And still, we must make decisions and move forward. We must dance with uncertainty and embrace chaos. Why must we dance? Why must we embrace? If chaos is defined as the idea that actions have consequences, even if they can't be accurately predicted long range, embracing chaos becomes the rational and responsible position. I was a school teacher for 19 years. Sometimes I hear from students I taught long ago who gratefully tell me that I influenced them positively. I wanted desirable traits and behaviors from all my students, but most former students I don't hear from at all. Does that mean I had no positive influence? I don't know. Have the deterministic ripples of my past actions altered the world? Almost certainly. I would prefer that my metaphorical butterfly wing flaps create rain for a drought in Texas rather than a tornado. I want to embrace the kindest, wisest actions I can in each moment. But since the nature of chaos prevents me from knowing the outcome now, I embrace the intention to do my best today and let the winds blow as they will. Uncertainty isn't all bad. While uncertainty can give rise to worry or fear, it also provides joy. We love the delicious uncertainty of anticipating what might be in a wrapped gift. We love the delicious uncertainty, we eagerly cheer or groan throughout the game until the results become known only at the end. It's fun to root for the underdog precisely because the outcome is unknown at the beginning. Or we root for the favorite. All this week, people have enjoyed talking about California Chrome's chance to become the first Triple Crown winner in 36 years. Did he? He had that chance, but he didn't. When someone gives us certainty about the ending of a movie before we've seen it, we call it a spoiler. There's a sign in Munich that says, Heisenberg might have slept here. If we knew the punchline when it started, the joke wouldn't be as funny. Uncertainty spices up life's stew. I've watched couples who dance well together, and their dancing is a thing of beauty. They anticipate each other's moves, and when something unexpected happens, they move through it gracefully and continue in harmony. Dancers expect the unexpected and don't allow screw-ups to stop the flow of the dance. Watching closely, you might miss the fact that they screwed up at all because they move on so naturally. Those of us who have not made plans for flowing on fear the unexpected because we don't know how to react to it. So how do you dance with uncertainty? Dancing with uncertainty means expecting the unexpected and planning how to deal with it gracefully. This does not mean worrying about whether or not it will rain on your wedding. It means having an inside option if it does rain. Dancing with uncertainty means building in a buffer of time or resources over and above what might seem adequate, because the task almost always takes X more money and Y more time and Z more work than you think. Account for that up front. Dancing with uncertainty means to keep in mind the ultimate goal and let go of other distractions or unexpected changes of plan. Stay focused on what is essential, even if all else changes. Muslims say, Insha'Allah, whenever they speak of doing something in the future. Insha'Allah means if Allah wills. Understanding and accepting that their plans may need to change is dancing with the uncertainty of chaos. In Tao Te Ching number 73, we are told, an inflexible force will meet defeat. The hard and the mighty lie beneath the ground, while the tender and weak dance on the breeze above. Dancing with uncertainty means being flexible enough not to let the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune break or bury you. Dancing with uncertainty also means loving the drama of not knowing yet, reveling in the delight of surprise, and bear hugging the sheer joy of possibility when you're open to whatever happens. Dancing with uncertainty takes courage, and planning, and a buffer, and essentialism, and flexibility and acceptance of the possibility of change, and it can be great fun. I urge you to embrace chaos and dance with uncertainty. Embracing chaos means accepting that our actions, even the seemingly most trivial, affect the world. Embracing chaos reminds us to act intentionally, kindly, and wisely. Dancing with uncertainty allows us to feel more confident about our ability to deal with whatever comes. Dancing with uncertainty lets us flow more gracefully through life. May your embraces and dances enrich you and the world you touch. As we rise in body or spirit, please join in singing our closing hymn, number 318, We Would Be One.